This is War by the Potomac Accord. I am Erin, again here with Andy from the Potomac Accord. Chit-chatting. We'll be here for another half hour, listening to some jams off this record they're getting ready to have a release show for. It is called, oh my goodness, my brain just blanked. What is the name of your, I'm so sorry. What?
Beams.
Beams. I wanted to say something else. I knew it was a one word with a B, and I don't know why I blanked. I was preparing myself for all the details of this really different sounding release show. You're not doing it in a regular old venue. You're doing a whole other thing. So
We are.
Why don't you tell me about it?
Yeah, we're doing it downtown at the St. Louis Public Library Central Branch Auditorium. And if whoever you are, has never been there, it's a beautiful, beautiful building. If you're a fan of architecture or just beautiful structures, which I can't see any person saying I'm not, because that would just be pure evil. You need to go down and look at the building, see the architecture. It's kind of Goliath in scope. Has a lot of just beautiful ornate artwork inside of it, like on the ceilings and the lamps and everything. And then they just did a very, very massive multi-million-dollar renovation, I think about 4.5 years ago, somewhere around there. And they put in a very, very beautiful auditorium theater where they'll show like indie films and have special events. Like I think they're doing like an independent literature press, small press type, like zines and stuff like that next week. But then the following week, on October 19th, they're allowing us to release our record inside of this very beautiful, intimate auditorium.
That is fantastic. For one, it's super original, which I like because not a lot of people do that anymore. Two, I actually didn't even know this thing existed. So I just found a new place to go check things out at, which I love.
Yeah.
And three, it seems like it's just, I don't know. You said that it's like a theater, so they have a screen. You could possibly, put pictures on or project stuff on if you wanted to. It's a big room, so I would imagine. You showed me a picture of it. It's really pretty. The acoustics are probably really neat in there too, because it's such a large room in comparison to a small venue. Like, I'm trying to think of something way back in the day besides the Creepy Crawl. Remember Sally T's?
I remember Sally T's, yes.
The High Point.
There's the Centro Sociale. There was the Common Space. Yeah, there were a lot of small venues back then. The Side Door, that was the Rocket Bar.
I remember the Rocket Bar.
Yeah.
See, I didn't come until like 2004, so
Okay.
I missed out on some of those, or at least I didn't know about them in time. But yeah, I do remember Sally T's and the High Point, and I loved Sally T's and I loved the aesthetic of the place, but the sound was terrible. And it was just because it was such a small, weird shaped room. So this is a big, wide open space, and I would imagine that it's just going to be really cool.
This is a theater designed for like presenting something from a stage. So yeah, we're gonna bring in a PA and set everything up and have a real rock show. And I don't know anybody that would say the library is a bad place. The library is a fantastic place, and I utilize it nearly daily because I can walk there from my house. So I go to the library constantly. So what a better way to make a cool artistic event with live music inside of a space that I don't think anyone would disagree is a place that they'd probably like to be at some day of their life.
Right, and it's beautiful and it's interesting. So are you guys, is it going to be just you? Do you guys have anybody else on the bill? It's a you thing?
It's just us, yeah. We're playing at 7 p.m. sharp on the dot, and it will be 1 hour long on the dot, and it will end at 8 o'clock p.m. So you can set your stopwatch to it. It's just us, and it's on a Thursday, so when we were planning this thing out, there's a lot of excuses we get from people all the time about why they can't make a show, and one of them is they don't want to pay a cover charge. So this show is completely free. And then another thing is the shows are too late because sometimes we do play on a Saturday night at 11 p.m. So
right.
This show is at 7 p.m. And then some people might bartend or work or have families and they're busy on the weekends. So this show is on a Thursday, which is basically the new Friday.
Yeah.
So you can come out and see a show for free at a reasonable hour and then do whatever you want the rest of your night, whether it's take a bath or go chug a PBR or even better, like a Schlafly or Four Hands beer somewhere.
That's I'm gonna do my level best to be there. I don't think I have anything going on that night. I would have to look at my calendar, but I absolutely want to check it out. And speaking of Shafley too, you have some other things going on prior to this in advance. So next Thursday on the 12th, you have a listening party from 8 to 10 p.m., which is also free at the TikTok Tavern.
Yeah, so we have a few little events kind of building up to the release of the record. So we got TikTok Tavern, another South Side watering hole, great place to go. It's cash only, so if you want to come there and drink, bring some cash. I hate these cash only places, but it's cash only.
Hey, you know, it works. As long as you know in advance, it's usually not a problem. It's when you show up, it sucks.
That's why we're putting out the warning signals now. Yeah, that's when is that? Thursday, October 12th?
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah, we're going to play the record a few times from start to finish. Maybe throw in a few little surprises.
That sounds fun. And yeah, go have some drinks, you know, and have a DD for that. And then Sunday, the 15th, which is the day before my birthday, you're gonna go ahead and be a Vintage Vinyl.
Vintage Vinyl, yeah, a local legendary record store, a fine place.
Absolutely, and they have free beer from Shafley. Is that correct?
They do, yeah. That's at 4:00. Just a little tiny snippet of the record live. Usually those things last 20 to 25 minutes at the most. So we'll play a few tunes off the album, and they'll have it there available for purchase. And yes, it's free Schlafly local craft great beer.
And it's free to enter. And while you're there, shop around, because I have found so many awesome things that I am just not able to find anywhere else at Vintage Vinyl. Like I was really involved in the local scene back in the day, and obviously so were you. It's really hard to find those records from those bands from way back when, but I've almost always found them there at some point. I keep going back and looking when I can't. People will resell them for some reason. I guess they hate nostalgia.
I have spent many hours and days in Vintage Vinyl going through used record bins.
And it's amazing the things you find if you really sit and look. And then after, do you want to talk about the things you have going on after the release, or do you want to wait and have all these people show up to the release to find out?
Well, I mean, they can find out on our. We have a lot of the stuff posted online.
Okay, so social media is a thing, which obviously is another new thing since you guys have, you know, really been super active. What do you know your socials? I'm sure you do. Like,
yeah, it all started back on stlpunk.com, but yeah, now it's all just Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
When Jerome still ran it,
right? Yeah, and yeah, so everything's just under the Potomac Accord. Potomac is spelled like the river in Washington, D.C., P-O-T-O-M-A, not Potomac or Potomac or whatever else people say.
It's Potomac.
You nailed it, yes. And then Accord, just like a car, a Honda Accord, A-C-C-O-R-D.
So it's not Potomac Accord Band, it's not Potomac Accord Official, it's just the Potomac Accord.
Yep, the Potomac Accord. Yeah.
Awesome. And yeah, you can go get that information there. You can get more information about the release, the band, their history, whatever, photos. Social media is cool. Check those out. We're going to break and play another song. So this one is called Reset, and we'll get back in just a few minutes.